Hi, this is Chief Bill Brooks of the Norwood Police Department. I just want to take an opportunity to talk to everybody from Norwood a little bit about what the police department's doing during this COVID-19 situation that we have going on. And I guess the main point is that the police department's continuing to function. I know it's the same at Norwood Fire. We provide emergency service and we're available. If you were to drive through town, and we hope you don't do that unnecessarily, but if you drive through town, you could expect to see officers on foot patrol, and you'll see our cruisers on patrol. But we've made some changes, and we've had to because of the situation that we're confronted with. So I just want to talk about a few. Number one is we're taking a lot of reports by phone. So if you called us and said that somebody backed into your car and left some damage and left without leaving a note, that's a hit and run. And we would normally send an officer where you are, inspect your car, and write a report. Now the dispatcher is going to ask you for a cell number, and the officer is going to call you back from the road. He or she is probably calling from their car, quite frankly, or they may be coming to the station. But in either event, they're going to call and get the information by phone. We don't like to operate that way. We look for opportunities to interact with the public. But right now, we're really trying to do what we can to maximize our social distancing, minimize our contacts with the public. This is a complete sea change from the way the Norwood Police Department normally operates. If you know anything about us, we go out of our way to interact with the public, but now things have changed. Other types of reports were taken by phone are identity theft, that your credit card number was misused online, that you've been the victim of a scam, some of those sorts of things. So we'll be taking those by phone. We ask you to just bear with us, and if you can do it by phone, we'd appreciate that. So a few other things on gun licenses. We see citizens who come into the police station because they'd like to apply for a license to carry. And you can still do that, but if you don't need your LTC right away, in other words, if your new job doesn't depend on you having an LTC, we could just ask you to just hold off. Give us a few weeks. Let's see where we are in a few weeks. And then you can give us a call. If you're trying to apply for a renewal of your LTC, you can do that by mail. We ask you to take advantage of that. Again, we're just trying to minimize our contact with the public. Some internal changes that we've made is that we've gone to a fully digital roll call. So at the beginning of every shift, the officers all gather in a room. It looks like a U-shaped classroom, and the sergeant gives them their orders for the day, assigns them their cars, tells them what patrol sector they're going to be in, talks about whatever's gone on in the last 24 hours and that sort of thing. And we just saw that as too many of our employees being all in one place. And if one person was sick, they could infect that whole room, and that would take down a portion of the police department. So we have gone to a fully virtual or digital roll call. The officers now receive their car and sector assignments on their phones before they arrive at work. They go straight to their cars, and they always check out their cars at the beginning of the shift, so they would do that. They wipe down the cockpit of the cruiser. All of the contact services are wiped down by the officer. We are now emailing them the log and the highlighted reports from the previous 24-hour cycle. And even after this passes, we're going to continue to do that. We've gone to a more digital style roll call. The sergeants go out into the parking lot instead of being in the roll call room, and they stand along the fleet line where the radio cars are parked, and they talk to the officers about what they expect. So the officers are all properly distanced from each other and properly distanced from the sergeant. We're getting the same information to the officers that are on the road, but we're minimizing that close contact. So that's just something we've done internally for all of the officers and dispatchers and employees of the Norwood Police Department. They're my responsibility, and I want to make sure that they are safe and healthy. I really don't want them to catch something and then pass it on to other members of the department to infect them, so that we have to quarantine large quantities of the police department. Number two, I don't want them to catch something and bring it home to their family. And of course, we don't want them to become infected and pass it on to a citizen. So just to wrap up, I just want to say, listen, if you need us in an emergency, call 911. We're there. Our dispatchers are still on the phones. We're working. We're up and running at full capacity. Our officers are on the road. We have peeled back on a few things that are discretionary, but we're still there to answer calls. We're still there to serve you. So if you need us, give us a call. Know that the Norwood PD, men and women of the Norwood PD are on the job. Thanks.